So, battling with insecurity. Insecurity is a hell of a thing that I'm sure nobody wants to have to deal with. So, when you hear the word security, the first thing you think of, is being protected, being safe, being secure. Now, however, on the other hand, insecurity is just the opposite of that, which is to lack, confidence and stuff like that. Now, somebody with low self-esteem and that lacking confidence in those things, that tends to bring on a lot of insecurity, and insecurities can affect a lot of things, from a performance at school, work. It can damage relationships, and when I say relationships, not only friendships and stuff like that, but also marriages, and that's a really, really big thing. So I saw on my Facebook page a post from someone, and what her status was saying is that, can someone who is insecure become secure? And after reading the comments, I saw persons commenting stuff like, no, once someone is insecure, they would never be secure again, or it depends on what makes the person insecure and stuff like that. So it channeled me now to take it upon myself to say, okay, I'm going to raise this matter, because a lot of persons out there are suffering from insecurity, and it's really, really not a nice thing to have to go through, and I'm speaking from experience. I have suffered a great deal where insecurity is concerned, and it started from things due to things that even from way back since my childhood days, and it's something that is extremely difficult once you don't have the support around you, or that mentality to say, okay, here's what, I'm not going to let this have a hold on me anymore. It's extremely difficult to have to deal with something like that. A lot of the times when you hear persons have problems or issues dealing with insecurity, when you ask them, well, what makes you so insecure, a list of the things that they would tell you are things like, well, I've been abused, and being abused doesn't only mean physically, but also emotionally, mentally. I've been bullied. I look in the mirror and I don't see myself as being pretty or handsome, and just is a lot of things that cause someone, or that causes someone to become extremely insecure. And now that I have grown a lot, I have matured a lot more now, so it's not a problem for me to talk about my experience or my dealings with this demon called insecurity. So growing up, I have always seen myself as the ugly duckling in the bunch. A lot of times I would never see myself as being good enough for me, and that's more or less where the start of my insecurity, that's where it started. And having gone through abusive experiences, it just didn't help the situation at all. And so now years have passed and I've gotten older, and just when you think that it's no longer there, you realize that it's still there, because you haven't really dealt with the issue, or you haven't really put it behind you. And that's where I found myself suffering where my relationships are concerned. Now I can speak for my present relationship, which is now my marriage. When I met Damien, I haven't really dealt with my insecurity. It was still there because I never really had anyone to help me deal with my insecurities. And for anyone that knows me, they would know that I am, even though, you know, I'm courageous and I'm daring and I'm willing, I'm spontaneous, anyone that really knows me would know that I'm actually a very quiet person now. I'm not shy. I would speak to you if I have to, but initially someone that's just looking on at me for the first time would think that I'm shy, I'm reserved, you know, I don't really socialize and stuff like that. But again, this has to do with me just being the person that I am. I'm a very, you know, calm, easygoing person. I like to stay more to myself and stuff like that. So when I met Damien, it was the beginning of me realizing how much I haven't dealt with my insecurity. Because on countless occasions I would find myself accusing him for certain things. I would find myself, you know, not being able to trust him, you know, always thinking that he's up to something, that he's lying, that, you know, like we would say, you're playing me for a fool. And it was a great task for both of us to have to deal with. Now, Damien being the person that he is, which I'm more than grateful for, you know, he has helped me to grow a lot past that. I mean, you know, there's still one or two things that I'm working on, but at present I've seen myself grow so much with, you know, the assistance and the encouragement and support of my now husband. And you know, I want to thank him for sticking it out with me, you know, riding through that big hurdle that was something that, you know, has kept me back so many times in my life. You know, insecurity affected me so much of a great deal, that where work was concerned, where, you know, things that I wanted to do, it just is like it had a hold on me because I couldn't move forward, or I couldn't see myself moving forward or sticking to anything at all. So here I am now. I would find myself, you know, starting something and not being able to finish, and that's mainly because of the fact that I've always told myself I'm not good enough, I can't do this, you know, even though I may have wanted to do a lot of things and become successful in it, I always find myself doubting. And so here comes this guy that met this gal and decided, you know what, I'm going to stick it out with her, I'm going to ride this wave with her, I'm going to ensure that she gets past this, because at the end of the day, even though, you know, we may or may not work out, I still want to help her, you know, to move forward in life. And so here I am now with this photographer. Now, photography means dealing with other females, you know, taking photos of them, seeing a lot of these gorgeous women, these gorgeous females posing in front of my boyfriend. That started to bring out my insecurity, and that's when Damien noticed that, hey, she definitely has a problem. So we just decided to sweep it under the carpet, and, you know, Damien would continue with his photography and I would continue to try and support that. And that was photo shoot number 1. On to photo shoot number 2. It got even worse, because it's like we have never dealt with the first issue, and now I'm in the same position again and it's the same thing. So I would find myself accusing him, so what, you're flirting with the you're flirting with the model, or, you know, what, you want to take her number so that you would have your own private shoots with her, and, you know, just accusing him of a lot of things that, you know, was just more or less fantasized, or not even fantasized, imagined by me. And initially when he did that, I didn't see it as being selfish there and then. I just saw it as, okay, you know, this guy, he probably really loves me, So he's decided to give up something that he loves doing, you know, to ensure that his relationship stays stable and, you know, continues to flourish, to blossom, to happen, more or less. And that in itself was one of the major eye-openers for me, because, you know, I met this person doing photography and I know this is something that he loves doing, and just the fact that he was willing to give up something that he loved so much, or something that he was doing for so many years, to be with this person that he had only known for a couple of months. I don't think we'd even make it onto a year yet within our relationship. Within a couple of months, you know, that definitely said a lot to me. And that's just one of the countless occasions where, you know, I've seen that Damien was willing to support me in getting rid of, or, you know, putting behind me this issue or this flaw that I had. So fast forward to a couple years down the road now, we are newly married, and, you know, he still continues to support me even though I have grown so much and my insecurity no longer affects us the way that it used to before. You know, so what I'm trying to say is basically, someone that's insecure can become secure, and I can be a witness to that because I was someone who suffered from insecurity. That's why you would notice now that Damien is coming back out with his photography and stuff like that, because I've now realized that, hey, I was the cause of him not being able to do something that he loves, because I had this thing that stayed with me from my past now coming into my present relationship, and it's affecting us a great deal. And, you know, it was selfish of me to even encourage the fact that, you know, he stopped doing something that he loved for me. So, you know, all in all, I'm grateful to have someone that took the time to support me through that difficult ordeal. As well as, I just want to let everybody that is battling with insecurity out there, I just want to let you guys know that it is definitely possible to have that sense of security again, you know, with the right support and the right encouragement and the right mentality, you can overcome insecurity. I hope this video enlightened you guys in some way or the other, and thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and, you know, I would leave a few tips as to how to overcome insecurity in my description box below.
Behind the mask and confident smile was a broken man trying to grow up and make life worthwhile. And I know there were times that you probably shouldn't, but I thank you for always loving me. And I know anyone else, they probably wouldn't, but I thank you for always loving me. Now I know there were days I'd look at myself, I felt like less of a person compared to everyone else. What about this flaw? Too big, too small, can I exchange? And trying to make up for where I fell short, I let sin slip away.